Now, we all remember that soundtrack from I Bet Go 2, the creepy, rhythmic, pulsating beat. Well, that soundtrack that you just heard was by a group called the TANUKI Project. Are you ready for this? 4 years ago, they released sNaKe. Look at this. Reduction Pressure, November 6. sNaKe, and this is the music video that we are going to look at today. sNaKe. With the soundtrack, the same people that made I Bet Go 2 soundtrack, the TANUKI Project also made the soundtrack for this music video that we're going to break down today. So, 2018 was 2 full years before the pandemic, was it not? Yet, this music video that you're going to see next mentions plague. It mentions shots. And it depicts Trump as a money-hungry snake president. Something weird is going on. Because a TANUKI, are you ready for this, is a Japanese raccoon dog. TANUKI. Japanese raccoon dog. So what, Casey? What does that have to do with anything? Because raccoon scrambled is corona. Yes, you can spell raccoon with one C. It's an acceptable spelling. And when you scramble that, it spells corona. TANUKI Project, all the way back in 2012, already knew the agenda. Now, this raccoon dog is known as a shapeshifter. Look at this. And it is a variant of another raccoon dog. This raccoon dog that was directly blamed for the COVID-19 pandemic. The only difference between this raccoon dog and the other raccoon dog is that this raccoon dog is from China and the other is from Japan. A TANUKI is from Japan. But as you can see, both of these raccoon dogs have the same genus. It's called Nycterudes. Nycterudes and Nycterudes. They're essentially the same raccoon dog. So how did TANUKI Project know this? How did they know to name their group the TANUKI Project in anticipation of the corona? Well, that's what we're going to break down today. TANUKIs are able to shapeshift into humans and possess them, according to ancient Japanese myth. Let me check in with you guys and we're going to get started. Good morning, everybody. There's been some hard-hitting videos lately, hasn't it? But you'll realize too that every bit of information, every piece of information is part of the puzzle, right? Every day that we come on here, it's part of the puzzle. This is why every single video is important. We wouldn't have got here unless every single video wasn't being looked at. Now, the first thing I saw here, let's play this through. Here is the beginnings of sNaKe by the TANUKI Project. sNaKe appears on the screen. And what I noticed was the stylization of the letters E, Y, and S. And they're stylized to look like the actual currency symbols, aren't they? The S is the dollar, the E is the euro, and the Y is the yuan. The very same three countries or continents that were hit the hardest by COVID. Then 666 appears on Trump's license plate at exactly 19 seconds. Can't make it up. 19 seconds. sNaKe 666 with Texas on there. Of course, 19 is COVID-19, right? Then I noticed the front of his car at 24 seconds. And to me, it is the basic shape. What is the shape of the front of this car? I want to get you guys involved in these decodes because I can't just be telling you all this. You have to see it for yourself. That gives validity to the decode so that you know we're not making it all up. Now let me go in the chat and see who could figure out what the front of his car looks like so that people know I'm just not stretching stuff and making it up. This is very important. All right, let's see here. I don't know where everybody went today. This is probably one of our most important videos ever. But this is what they do. They won't send out notifications after hard-hitting videos. What is the front of it's a crown. Absolutely, it's a crown, isn't it? So all of you saw it. It's not just people making it up. Let's keep going here. Good job, you guys. Look at the syringe in the background with the clock on it. Remember, he's Biff, Back to the Future. Look at where the clock is. 10:04. That's 88. Remember? 10:04 on the clock tower in Back to the Future is what the clock tower struck when Marty got up to 88 miles an hour and jumped through time. Remember? And 88 is that Trump number. But also in the calendar, if you look at the date 10/4, October 4th, it has 88 days left in the year. They took us through a portal. That's what they did. Then at 29 seconds, we finally see Trump as a sNaKe inside of this vehicle. The window goes down and we see Trump as a reptilian. Then at 31 seconds, what does he do? He drives up to the front of a Walmart. And he offers money to a goat. One of the workers is like the anthropomorphic shape of a goat. Now, in case you didn't know, 80% of the products sold in Walmart are from China. And during the pandemic, there was a huge power grab, wasn't there? Because all the little businesses could not keep up with all the rules, the plexiglass, the smack the nations, the shutdowns. But guess who was allowed to stay open and had the money to meet all those rules? It was Walmart. And during the pandemic years, you can look this up yourself, nothing that I say today is made up. The stock prices surged from 2020, from the day of the lockdowns, all the way through the pandemic. The China Walmart stock prices surged because Walmart was allowed to stay open during the entirety of the pandemic, which edged out all the small businesses, and it was a huge power grab. Many of those small businesses are gone forever. They will never come back. So here, Trump is depicted as controlling Walmart with his money. the unholy alliance with Walmart. And that unholy alliance is an alliance with China, who got rich because people had no other options. You all remember, never ever forget. Trump doesn't really hate China. He made China rich. Not only did he make China rich through Walmart, he made China rich through Amazon, who has 60% of its products that come from from China. This music video, in case you're just tuning in, released an entire year before the pandemic. Trump then eats the goat, Walmart worker, and drives off. Then, at 47 seconds, he gives birth to a reptilian egg. This is unbelievable. Next to him is a book that says Fire and Fury, which of course is FF, which are the letters or the number 66, just like his 66th floor Apollo penthouse. FF66. He gives birth. Now, keep an eye on these lyrics here. In fact, I'll make them a little bit bigger for you guys, because this is important. I want you to be able to see the lyrics, because they're actually singing lyrics here. My wallet is my ego. My ego never quit. He lays the egg on top of Russia. Look at this, sickle and hammer. Now this sickle and hammer was also depicted in iPet Go 2. Remember, there's a man drowning in some toxic soup, and he's holding a hammer and sickle. So what does this represent, this egg being laid on top of this Russian symbol here? Well, I think it symbolizes his secret alliance with Russia. Out of the egg comes money. Most people don't realize is Trump has always had very close ties to the Russian mob. In fact, his tenants in Trump World Tower, many of them were Russian mobsters. This is unbelievable. Out comes the money. Hatched a plan. Now at 1:28, we see the twin Trump towers. Talks about shedding his skin. Look at this. Two staircases. Let's zoom this up for you guys. They come up and you have twin Trump towers. And I believe this is disclosure. We've always thought that he had something to do with 9/11, didn't we? We get a couple more syringes. They call it Snake Tower. There's a missile there. I don't know what that's about. But then at 1 minute 47 seconds, he pulls out a briefcase. And on the briefcase, it says, I love Stormy Daniels. Also got a cannabis leaf with the flag on it. And unfortunately, that's what's happened to America. I don't judge people who smoke cannabis, but it's become a control mechanism for so many people, causing a dependency where you can get it from. It's all been federalized. Corporations are taking over, pushing out small cannabis farmers. If you have cannabis or use it, you can't operate a gun. You can't have a gun, so they've taken away your gun rights. And sadly, many people are very, very dependent on this. That's probably what that cannabis leaf means, with the flag on it. Another mechanism of control. We needed to decriminalize cannabis, not federalize it. And I think everybody can agree even cannabis users. Then at 2:01, we get a mention of the coming plague. I almost couldn't believe this. A symptom of the plague to cure the city's ills. Now, the video also mentions girls and boys a couple times, suggesting some kind of child trafficking, which was another theory we've had for a very long time. And then the bombshell. They talk about a shot. This is unbelievable. When do they talk about the shot? At 6:66 in the video, or 2 minutes and 16 seconds. 6 times 6 times 6 is 216, you guys. I'll put a link to this music video for you guys so you can look at it yourself and hear it and see it with your own eyes. 2 minutes and 16 seconds. You know, many people have asked me, is it the mark? Is it the mark? Well, 666 is the mark of the beast. Do you want a shot? Right there. This was 2 years before the pandemic. Now, what's happening in this scene here? Well, those 3 reptilians that you saw playing cards, Trump comes for them to kill them. But what he does is he eats them. So he's the biggest reptilian of them all, eating up all the power. We do know that reptiles eat each other. Snakes eat each other, don't they? So, he is really high up on the scale, isn't he? So one of the reptilians comes out onto the porch because they know that Trump is coming for them. And so he's pointing the gun at this fountain, this water fountain. As they say, do you want a shot? What does the water fountain represent? That's a portal. Do you want a shot to brave the bread of Babylon, the pile on which I squat? The reptilian doesn't see anything on the porch, but there's Trump above him. He swoops down and he eats them. At this point, he becomes engorged with these reptilians as he eats all of them. And then he leaps off of sNaKe Tower. So that means that was destined to take the fall, maybe? He becomes engorged after eating all of them. Maybe he was destined to take the fall, like that was the whole psyop. It's amazing to me when I hear people saying, oh, he must be good. Look how much the left is coming after him. You guys, that's why they do it. It's a psyop to make you believe that he's in trouble, and it legitimizes him. He leaps off of sNaKe Tower, all engorged after eating all the reptilians. There it is right there, sNaKe Tower. But before he jumps off, one last blasphemy, one last curse to God in heaven. He opens his pants to the Most High with dollar symbols in the clouds. This is just unbelievable. He's a god on earth, and this is how people treat him. And then he was about to explode from all the gluttony. And there he goes skydiving off the snake tower, and splat, and all the money comes out. Wow. Now, what does all this mean? I think we broke it down pretty thoroughly. Unless there's anything that I missed. But here's the confirmation. Music by TANUKI Project, the same credits that were at the end of I Pet Goat 2. TANUKI means raccoon dog or corona dog. Unbelievable. When will people step outside of the right-left paradigm? When will they realize that Joe Biden and Donald Trump are just puppets to trigger your desire to see a contest, your desire to see your side win, that plays to your ego and pride? When will people wake up? Both sides are working together. We don't need a leader. We need Jesus Christ. We need the Most High. Maybe God's waiting for us to finally choose Him. Maybe He's waiting for all of us to write on the ballot, Jesus Christ, return. Maybe that's what He's waiting for. We keep believing the liars and the puppets, don't we?